Welcome back. This is a fun video about the hidden benefits of food simply understood. We will be discussing the benefits of food in regards to the chakras as well as the body organs. So let's get started. So the information in this video is based on the ancient traditions and common sense derived from Ayurveda. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice. So what are some of the hidden benefits? We will mainly be focusing on fruits and vegetables. So there are four aspects of these benefits. Benefits from a standpoint of colors, shapes, textures, and elements of nature. Let's talk about colors. So the colors of the chakras that we have mentioned in a previous video are very well known, and they are red, orange, yellow, green, turquoise, blue, and purple. So red at the bottom here, number one, they go from the bottom to the top. Red is for the root chakra, which is also referred to as Muladhara chakra. Orange is for the sacral chakra or the navel chakra. The Swadhisthana chakra. The yellow color is for the navel chakra, Manipura. The green color is for the heart chakra or the Anahata. The turquoise color or the light blue color is for the throat chakra or Vishuddha or Vishuddhi. And the blue color is for the third eye, the Agna or Ajna and the purple is for the crown chakra or Sahasrara chakra. In Arabic, we refer to those as the al-lata'if, al-maqamat, and ash-shakrat. Okay, so so somebody may say, so what? If you give those chakras different, colors, so how does that help me, practically speaking, when it comes to food? So let's dig a little bit deeper, shall we? So for foods that are red, such as beets, for example, this affects the root chakra. So if you're looking to enhance the properties of the root chakra in terms of stability and comfort and just feeling cozy, usually you would have some beets, right? And when it comes to the orange color is usually represented by the genital chakra. The genital chakra is enhanced with the orange color, so it gives it more stability. It also adds a little bit more juice to it. Okay, and then the yellow color, represented by foods, yellow foods such as bananas, enhances the sacral chakra or the navel chakra, which is also responsible for digestion. Then we have the green color, which is attributed to the heart chakra. This is the air element, which gives you nourishment and makes you feel good inside. So that's the green color. It is also good if you were to go outside, look at a green field or green trees and shrubs, and just spend some time in the outdoors. So that will give you the same feeling as eating some green vegetables. So it's very common and commonly understood that green vegetables are very good for you because they nourish the body in a great way and gives you this feeling of compassion and love, and that's in the heart chakra. That you don't find a lot of food that's turquoise in color, but there are some, and that will affect the throat chakra. And then we have the blue color, which is such as blueberries those affect the third eye chakra. And then we have the purple color fruits such as purple figs and purple eggplant, and these would help the ground chakra. All right, let's take another step forward. So that was from the color standpoint and the chakras. Let's take a look at how the fruits and vegetables mainly, benefit the organs in the body by their shape, which is also the structure. So it is very common understanding that tomatoes will help the heart because they're shaped like the heart. And then celery they're kind of stiff in their structure, so they would help the bones of the body. The sweet potato would help the liver and pancreas because of their shape. The carrots, if you cut the carrots, they will look just like the iris of the eye, so they help with that. And the red beans, help with the kidneys. So you may be asking yourself, so why is this the case? Well, the same vitamins and minerals that make the tomato red also give pigment to certain different parts of the body, right? Um, and the shape, of course. So you can just colorate between the colors and the structure and the shape, and you can deduce that things are related to each other. Over here on the right hand side, we have the walnuts, look just like the human brain. Isn't that amazing? Grapefruit look like the female breast. The ginger root just look like a stomach of a person. Avocados look like the female sexual organs and the ovaries. Of course, it's very well known that cucumbers and celery and bananas are good for the male sexual organs. And of course, the figs are good also for the male sexual organs. So the shape of the fruit gives you the suggestion what this is good for. So it's a pretty easy to figure out what if you buy and cook certain food or eat it, then you know what this is going to help you with, at what level, in terms of color, in terms of its shape. Okay, so we'll take this another step further. So we know that minerals have colors to them, and those minerals also make the pigment that goes into the fruits and vegetables. So the reason why we have a purple cabbage, and it kind of looks like this. It has these convoluted things in it. It kind of looks like the intestine. So this would benefit an organ just like the intestine, but not just the intestine. It could benefit everything else. But it mainly provides the the ecosystems, if you will, for the good bacteria to grow inside the intestine. So it's very well known. Cabbage is very good for digestion. Of course, the blueberries look like the eyes, and the pigment that you see here probably will be similar to the type of pigment that are responsible to make the eyes blue. And then we have the turquoise cabbage as well. For the same thing, we have the green vegetables for the gallbladder. We have the yellow vegetables for the thyroid and for the brain. The carrots for the pancreas. We have the red beets and the grapes. Very well known in Ayurveda that grape juice is very good for blood. So you can see here, with these beets cooked, you can see the beet juice around them. Just looks like the blood. So this will strengthen the blood and will purify the blood from toxins, as well as the pigment found in the liver and in the kidneys. Right, from a standpoint of texture, when you cut a section through, when you take a knife, cut a fruit in half, whether it's a cross section or a vertical section, you may see another type of structure, or you may see something on the outside that we call texture. It gives it that touch and feel. For example, broccoli is good to fight cancerous cells because it kind of looks like it. Pomegranate seeds look like just those air bubbles that are found inside your lungs. Radish, if you cut in half, it's got similar structure to the intestine of the person. And then we have the tomato. If it was cut vertically, some tomatoes would look just like this. It would have two lobes and very similar to the heart. So from a pattern standpoint, you can tell by looking at the fruit or vegetable whether it's good for a certain organ or not. So I would like to introduce a new topic. It's not a secret. A lot of people know about this already. It's very well known in the health food industry. And that's the 5 elements of nature. The 5 elements of nature are earth, water, fire, air, and space. So I'd like to start from the bottom to the top. So the earth is associated with the root chakra because it's grounding and it's a survival chakra and it's calming and it's responsible for the bone and muscle structure and tissues, and it's heavy, right? So if you were to eat food that has the earth element in them, then you would be strengthening the root chakra because of these attributes or properties. Water elements in your fruits and vegetables and food in general will be strengthening the genital chakra. It's responsible for the flow of bodied liquids. It's a universal solvent, water that is. It relates to the joints, creativity, saliva, blood, sweat, urine, and semen. The navel chakra, it's supported by the fire element and the food that we eat, and it's responsible for energy, digestion, disease prevention, intelligence, detox, and it's kind of oily. So this is watery and this is oily. The air element supports the heart chakra, and it's about communication, breath or breathing, the nervous system, the movement. It's about love and compassion. It's also light in weight because it's air. The space or ether element is related to the throat chakra, and it's the source of all other elements. It's kind of cold and dry and immobile without the others, and because it's just a space. If you think of all the universe, it has all the empty space, and it's if without air, there's nothing there to move, right? Okay, so let's see how this applies to food that we eat. So from the top left, we have here some incense, we have a rose. So what do we do with that? We smell it, right? This is the sense of the smell. We smell the rose, we smell the incense, and this is the element of space or ether and a little bit of air, right? If it wasn't for the air, we wouldn't be able to smell anything. Then we go to the light colored food, such as this is cucumber juice. And this would be like the water element, but also it's very light, so it has some air in it. It's not a heavy water element. Okay? We go to the more heavier juices, such as orange juice. This would be more of a fire element because it has more. Doesn't have any acid in it. This one has acid, so orange juice or lemonade will have some acid, which is the fire element. It's also liquid, which is the water element. Let's go to the carrot juice. The carrot juice has also this fire element because it's orange, but also has a lot of water in it and has a lot of body in it. So this is a thick juice, not like the orange juice. It's a little bit thick, and you can tell by the fact that the carrots are a little bit more hard to grind than the oranges, obviously. So it has some earth element in it. Beet juice is another type of fruit juice that is earthy but also watery and fiery because it has the red color in it. And then if you take, for example, nuts such as almonds, and we grind them like peanuts or almonds, and we get this peanut butter or almond butter, and you can, by looking at it, you can tell it looks like mud, from the earth and water, and this is precisely what it is. It's a water and earth constitution. And when we take, for example, a grain, we grind it, make flour out of it, that's the earth element. It just looks like sand, essentially. So as you can see, there is a lot of analogy between the food that we eat, even the roses that we smell, and whether it's solid, liquid, or gas, and how it relates to these elements. So based on the type of feeling that you want to get, if you want to feel light, more spiritual, what do? You light some incense, or you put some flowers, you use some essential oils, right? So this will enhance the space element and the air element, and it will produce an effect of spirituality in your house. If you want to refresh yourself, then you maybe have some cucumber juice, or maybe some citrus cucumber juice will refresh yourself. If you want to go further and get some vitamin C, then you go for an orange juice. If you want something a little bit more, it feels like a meal, then it's a carrot juice, right? If you want some more vitamins and minerals, then you go for a beet juice. When it comes to the almond butter, this is like a whole meal. You eat almond butter with a piece of bread, and that's it. That's a meal. It replaces the entire meal. It could also be dessert, sweet. And then we have the earth element, of course. This is how we make bread. You can use rice flour, you can use the wheat flour. Either way, you end up with this earth feeling, and that will make you satisfied. But it adds a lot of carbohydrates to your diet. So the information in this video is based on the ancient traditions and common sense derived from Ayurveda. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice. We hope that you enjoyed this video and find it informative. And if you did, please feel free to subscribe to this channel and leave a comment below about any topic that you would like us to cover in the future. Thank you and take care.